Hello! In Asia, people fold lucky paper stars for their friends and family to wish them good luck. Some believe that a jar of 1,000 paper stars will grant them a wish, similarly to how 1,000 paper cranes will be granted a wish as well. Lucky paper stars can be used for various decorations. These stars can be kept in a jar or a cup, and they can be displayed on your desk or table for aesthetic purposes. They can be turned into garland using some thread work. They can also be added into gift bags for friends to show them how creative you are. And messages can also be included and written inside these paper stars, and they can be unfolded and be read by your friends and family. They're similar to how you crack a fortune cookie open and a piece of paper appears, but instead you'll be unfolding a paper star and you'll be finding a message inside it. And these messages can easily cheer up your loved ones. So I first began by folding up paper stars. When I was a teenager, a family member of mine decorates her whole room with lucky paper stars, and I was really interested in how to make one because they're so tiny and cute. And ever since, I would constantly fold them when I was in class in high school to impress my friends. There was a time I was so dedicated into making these paper stars that I ended up with jars of paper stars, and I folded at least 100 paper stars. So the lucky paper star is the easiest origami to make, and it can be done easily using very basic materials, and it can be executed with a small number of steps. So before creating our paper stars, we'll be needing our basic materials. You'll be starting with a piece of paper. I decided to use notebook paper because that was what I could find. You could also use printing paper, construction paper, color paper. You could also find pre-cut paper on Amazon. It's much easier and they could be really colorful, and they sometimes come in sparkles. Rulers and scissors are optional, but scissors are definitely recommended to make the paper star, and I will tell you why in the next step. So our first step will be cutting a narrow strip of paper, similarly to like this. I've already cut it. So you would want to make sure that the width of the piece of paper is at least 1 centimeter long. It's 1 centimeter long, and the length is the whole sheet of paper. So this is where scissors come in handy because it's very fast and it can be more accurate rather than folding and tearing the piece of paper. And also rulers can be handy to measure 1 centimeter, but I usually eyeball 1 centimeter by measuring my index finger to the piece of paper and eyeballing it while I'm cutting it with the scissors. So now that we've prepared the strip of paper, next we will begin the origami part, folding the paper. So we will fold the strip of paper. So we first begin the paper like this, and then you will fold it like so. You will want to fold it as close to the edge as possible. And then you'll take your small piece of paper and put it through the loop. So it looks like this. And then you can slightly see a pentagon you want to make that pentagon a perfect pentagon as you can, because that pentagon will be your foundation to your star. And the more perfect the pentagon is, the more perfect will your star look. So after, you'll be folding down your pentagon so it's flat. And then you're left with this extra piece of paper. All you have to do is fold that into the pentagon. So you're just left with this long piece of paper. And after, you'll be folding that long piece of paper along the pentagon. And the piece of paper, long piece of strip of paper should be corresponding to the sides, like so. So this edge, it won't go into a crazy edge. It should just pick one side of the pentagon, which makes it really easy to fold. And then you keep doing it until you reach the end. Also, you want to make sure that when you fold it, that it has to be super tight to make it easier. And so this is the end because I can't fold it no more. So when you're left with this long end, you want to tear a little bit off. Okay, sometimes you're left with a short end, but okay, after you see a small pocket within your pentagon while you're folding it, all you have to do is put the small sheet of paper into that little pocket. Okay, so you're left with a pentagon. And after we create our mini pentagon, we'll be transforming it into a star. So we'll pinch and push each corner so that it forms a star. So before you do that, you want to make sure you hold your pentagon like this. Make sure you don't hold it like this, or else it'll make it difficult. So when you hold it like this, you want to use your fingertips or your fingernails and pinch the edges of the star. My pentagon is quite loose, so it will be difficult. I'll do my best. So you want to keep pinching it, all the edges, until you create that star. Like so. And then when you're left with all the edges pinched in, just make sure all the edges are really pinched in and all the sides are inside. So there you have your first ever lucky paper star. So now we will review the steps. First we began by cutting a strip of paper. Make sure you have the width of it is 1 centimeter long and the length of it is the whole sheet of paper. And after, you'll be folding the piece of paper into a loop. Make sure it's on the one of the sides of the paper. You'll be folding it like a shoelace, and then you'll be folding it. You'll have a short edge. Make sure you tucked it in, and then you'll have a long strip of paper, and then you'll keep folding that until you have your pentagon. And then make sure you tuck that little sheet of paper you left with your long sheet of paper inside the pentagon. And then you're left with an actual pentagon. And then you'll be pinching each size of the pentagon, and that is how you create your star. So one of the easiest origamis to make is the lucky paper star. And it can be created with simple materials, and with enough practice, it can be done quite quickly. Overall, the meaning behind the lucky paper star is to bring somebody or yourself good luck depending on the number of stars you fold. Either way, they make great gifts, and the person will know that you're thinking about them and you have wished them good luck. And that's what matters. So, in the end, are there any questions or concerns? Leave them in the comments. And I'm glad you took your time to watch me. Thank you. And I wish you good luck into making your paper stars.